So here in your child's pose, just take your first couple of breaths, feeling the belly touching the legs, feeling the chest drooping just a little closer to the ground. You can rock your forehead side to side against the mat and just give the front of your skull a little massage, getting the last bits of sleep out. Then we're going to practice some breath work today. We're going to do Dirga Pranayama, which means the 3-part breath. So the inhale starts in the chest, and then it moves through the ribs, and then into the belly. And then as you exhale the chest, and then the ribs, and then the belly. So starting to work through this 3-part breath, really filling every inch with fresh morning air, and then exhaling to the depths of your belly, the stillness and the staleness of sleep. Take one more full round of this. And then just take a couple of normal breaths. When you're ready, you can walk your hands off towards the right, just cracking open that left side body. Feeling long from the shoulder to the hip. And then slowly walking the hands over towards the left. Pausing for a breath or two here. Coming back towards center and taking one last deep breath here. And then with your next inhale, dragging the mat away as you rise up towards a tabletop position. Taking as much time as you need to get aligned, shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. And then as you're ready, starting to move with your breath, inhaling to cow and exhaling to cat. Waking up the spine, feeling the hips and shoulders starting to move. Taking one more full round here. And then coming back towards neutral, planting the left hand under the face and then raising the right arm high, stacking the shoulders, opening the chest. Deep breath in, and then as you exhale, thread the needle, right hand under left arm. And then as you inhale, lifting it back up. Exhale, thread the needle. Inhale, lift it up. Hold for just a second longer at the top. And then as you exhale, you can bear weight down on that right arm. We'll stay here and thread it. Maybe walking the left fingertips forward so that they're long on your mat. Imagine somebody grabbing you by the hips and pulling them back just a little bit. Spine is nice and long, gently twist it. As you're ready, planting the left hand back in the center of the mat, inhaling the right arm up, maybe give the wrist a little twirl, and then swapping out the hands, right hand under the face, inhale, left hand high, Stacking the shoulders, opening the chest, and then exhale, threading the needle on this side. Inhale brings it up. Exhale, thread. Inhale, bring it up, this time pausing for a moment at the top, opening everything, and then exhale, closing it down, staying for a few breaths. Do what you need to make sure that your spine is nice and long, letting your limbs reach for opposition. And then planting the right hand in the center of the mat, opening up, maybe giving the wrist a little twirl. And then as you exhale, coming back towards neutral. And then we're just gonna start to walk the hands out towards the top of the mat. We're dropping into puppy. So hips are stacking over the knees still as we're here. And then we're just starting to drop the chest, stopping wherever it's comfortable for you. And just letting the inside of the chest and the underarms breathe. We'll be here for one more full round of breath. And then as you inhale, starting to creep forward to bear some weight on the forearms. Hips come down to meet the mat. We're in Sphinx. Elbows under shoulders. Forearms are stretched long against the mat. Palms are pressing down. On your inhales, thinking you could grow your spine just a little bit taller. On your exhales, thinking that you could drag the elbows back and the chest forward just a little bit more. Rooting down to the pubic bone and the tops of the toes. Just finding a nice deep bend in the low back and a nice opening across the front body. One more deep breath in. And then we'll exhale, rolling it down towards the mat. We'll bring the fingertips towards the corner of the mat, tenting them. And then as you inhale, pushing the mat away, rising just slightly. And then exhale, coming back down towards earth. So we're gonna keep with this pattern. Inhale, pushing the mat away. Exhale, rolling back down. Bringing a little drama to the spine. So maybe letting the head hang and then roll up last. And then as you're ready, starting to take this into a circular motion. So as you inhale, maybe bringing it up towards the right, and then as you exhale, letting it go towards the left, and then switching directions. Take one more round each way. And then plant the hands under the shoulders. We'll just take one round of Cobra. Inhale, rolling the shoulders back. Exhale, rolling down towards earth. You can rest your left cheek on the mat and then bringing the right toes in towards the glute. You can just reach back with the right hand, grab hold of that foot. Gentle quad stretch here. And then taking the left arm straight out from the left shoulder so that it is long against the earth. We're going to start to roll that right foot over towards the left into this nice shoulder opener, and we'll stay for 2 breaths. As you're ready, on your next inhale, rolling back towards center. Planting your right cheek on the mat this time. Bringing the left toes in towards the glutes, grabbing hold of the left foot with the left hand, pausing for a breath. And then letting your right arm go straight out from that right shoulder. Bringing the left toes up and over, opening up the shoulder on this right side. Pausing here for 2 breaths. Your inhale brings you back towards center. And then as you exhale, just pushing the mat away, coming back to your child's pose. We'll stay for a nice deep breath before we move on. If you need to grab a sip of water or coffee or tea, whatever you have. And then when you're ready, we're going to push the hips high into our down dog. We'll stay here for a few breaths. Find that same sensation here, someone pulling the hips up and back. Your spine gets a little bit longer, slopes a little bit more down towards the earth. And then as you inhale, shift your gaze forward and step your right foot through the hands. And then right away we'll just drop the left knee. We're here in Anjaneyasana. Inhale, arms come high. We'll stay here for a breath. So really pressing down to the left foot in the shin to press the hips forward and sink a little bit deeper into that right knee. On your next inhale, your hands can meet above your head and then leaning your weight off towards the right, opening the front of that left hip a little bit. Maybe even lean a little bit back. One more deep inhale here. And then as you exhale, starting to come down towards the mat and then pushing that front leg straight any amount to come into a hamstring stretch. So you can still have a nice bend in that knee. Maybe the toes curl towards the body. This time, maybe even bringing the right fingertips to the right hip and pushing them just a little bit farther away. Feeling that nice hinge, the deep crease in both hips. And then on your next inhale, sneaking forward back into Anjane, we'll just stay here for the inhale, and then exhaling back towards your hamstring stretch. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, bringing forward. Exhale, bring it back. Inhale forward. Exhale back. This time as you're going forward, pop up onto those left toes and then come into a low runner's lunge twist. Right hand goes high, stacking the shoulders. Take a deep breath in. And then exhale, sink the hips just a little bit lower. On the inhale, you can unwind, replace the right foot with the right hand, and then lowering down all the way towards the mat. We'll inhale, finding Cobra. Exhale, finding the earth. Inhale through your plank, and then exhale, down dog. On your next inhale, gaze shifts forward. Exhale, left foot steps it through this time. Planting the right knee right away. As you arrive and adjust, on your next inhale, arms will come high, Anjaneyasana. Finding that press forward through the front of the right hip here, the deep bend in the left knee. Inhale, hands meet overhead. And then as you exhale, leaning off towards the left this time, maybe taking a slight back bend. Feeling long from the right fingertip down to the right knee. Deep breath in. And then as you exhale, circling the hands down towards the mat, pushing the mat away with the left foot to straighten that leg any amount. Pausing for a breath here in our hamstring stretch. Maybe bringing the left fingers to left hip, finding that nice crease. And then inhale, moving back towards Anjane. Exhale, hamstring. Feel free to move at your own pace. We'll go through 2 more rounds here. Inhale, exhale, Inhale, exhale. As you inhale, coming back towards your lunge position, this time tucking the right toes, planting the right hand and opening up towards the left. Runner's lunge twist, deep breath in. Exhale, sink the hips just a little bit. As you start to unwind, left hand replaces left foot. Lowering once again all the way down to the mat. Inhaling to find our Cobra. Baby Cobra, this time maybe pushing to King Cobra, so really pushing the mat away. Rolling back down towards the earth, pushing up through your plank, and exhaling to find down dog. As you inhale, shifting the gaze forward, exhale, tiptoeing the toes to the top of the mat until you're in a forward fold. And then once you arrive, reaching for opposite elbows, deep bend in the knee. See if you can get the ribs to touch the thighs. And then just hang, surrendering your weight, letting the head drop. On your next inhale, you can drop the elbows, lift halfway, exhale, fold all the way. And then as you inhale, we're gonna rise one vertebrae at a time, so slowly. Until you come to stand, arms circle overhead, deep breath in, exhale, hands to prayer. One more time, deep breath in. This time as you exhale, hands circle back down towards the small of the back. We'll take a deep breath in, bend the knees, drag the hands down towards the earth, opening the chest, shifting the gaze up, and then exhale, finding your humble forward fold. Holding for a breath. And then releasing the clasp without slingshotting your arms. Inhale, lifting halfway. Exhale, stepping it back to plank. And then taking your choice here, lowering all the way down towards the mat, otherwise lowering halfway into chaturanga, flipping the toes, inhale, pushing the mat away for up dog. Exhale, hips go high, down dog. Inhale, shift the gaze forward, exhale, top of mat. Inhale, lift halfway, exhale, fold. Inhale, rise, arms reach high. Exhale, find your clasp. Deep breath in, gaze goes up. And then exhale, gaze goes all the way down, forward fold. Pausing for a breath here. On your next inhale, carefully unwinding, lifting halfway. Exhale, finding your plank. And then moving through the flow of your choice. We'll do that 3 more times. We'll start to pick up the pace just a little bit. Inhale, shifting the gaze forward. Exhale, feet to follow. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise, arms reach. Exhale, clasping the hands. Deep breath in. Exhale, finding your fold. Arms reach towards the ceiling. And then as you inhale, arms unwind, come halfway. Exhale, find your flow. Inhale, shift the gaze forward. Exhale, top of mat. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, clasp. Deep breath in. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, flow. One more time. Inhale, shift the gaze forward. Exhale, top of mat. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, clasp. Deep breath in. fold, lift halfway, and flow. We'll pause for 2 breaths here, so just pedaling it out, finding a child's pose, taking a sip of whatever you've got in front of you. And then getting ready to move on. So we're from wherever you are, coming back towards down dog, hips are high. Deep breath in, right toes lift. And then exhale, planting the right foot down between the hands. We're gonna rise into warrior 1. So left foot goes out towards the left side of the mat. Foot is at a 45-degree angle. And then rising up, arms go high. And taking your time to adjust once you arrive. I said this the other day, but I rarely ever get warrior 1 right on the first try. It takes me a while to find the sweet spot. On your next inhale, we'll circle arms down and back. Find that same clasp. Inhale, lifting the chest, sending the arms long. And then exhale, humble warrior. Seeing if you can drop those hands just a little bit further over the head. Really bringing life to the front of the shoulders. On your next inhale, start to unwind, rising back to warrior 1, and then exhale, bringing the left hand down to the mat, finding our low runner's twist. Deep breath in, exhale, sinking the hips just a little bit, and then replacing the right foot with the right hand and moving through your flow. On your next inhale, left toes go high. Exhale, stepping left foot between the hands, rising to warrior 1, and taking your time to arrive. On your next inhale, circling the arms back, finding your clasp as you exhale, and then inhale, dragging those arms down towards the earth, opening the chest, lifting the gaze, and then exhale, humble warrior. Deep breath in. Then as you exhale, just lowering the hips a little bit. On your next inhale, bringing arms high, rising back to warrior 1. And then exhale, bringing the right hand down towards the mat, opening up into the runner's lunge twist. Deep breath in. Exhale the hips just an inch. As you inhale, you can unwind, left hand plants next to the right, sending the left toes back, moving through your flow. Take a round of breath here. And then inhale, right toes go high. Exhale, planting the foot between the hands. This time opening up into warrior 2. So left foot is at 90 degrees this time. Both hips are open. And again here, taking our time to arrive. This is a big energetic pose. We're already already declaring our power over the day. Deep breath in, shift it back towards peaceful. And then exhale, finding any variation of side angle. Inhale, cartwheeling the arms back to peaceful. And then as you exhale, cartwheeling down to the mat and moving through your flow. Inhale, this time left toes high. Exhale, step the foot through. Warrior two. As you inhale, finding peaceful. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, peaceful. Exhale, flow. Inhale, right toes rise. Exhale, step it through, warrior two. Last time here, really embracing your strength, your power, looking down the line of that right middle finger with intention. Now we're going to bring the hands to the back of the head, and as you inhale, just ticking back, and then as you exhale, ticking towards side angle. So just a smaller movement. This is the only core work we're going to do. We'll just be here for a few breaths, but staying low in those legs, staying long in the spine. And then as you inhale, straightening the right leg, we're going to move into triangle so arms can come long. And then deep breath in, pushing the hips back towards the left leg. And then exhale, ticking over the right leg this time. Shoulders are stacked. Body is open, and you can imagine that your body is smashed. I mean, not smashed, but between two planes of glass. So this isn't a super dimensional shape. Your hips aren't sticking back. Everything's kind of in line here. One more breath. And then as we inhale, we're going to come to peaceful triangle. So keeping that leg straight, stretching the right arm up and back. We're going to move into the balance, so half moon here. If that's not calling to you this morning, you can go right back to triangle. But we'll just find a moment to play, to float, to trust our balance. And then bending the right knee any amount to bring the right fingertips to the earth. See if you can find that same quad stretch. So bringing the left toes in towards the glute, and then bringing the left fingers back to meet it, making that connection. Trusting your balance. And then stepping back, finding peaceful, and then moving through your flow. Now I'm awake. So we'll take one more breath in down dog to reset. And then on your next inhale, left toes go high. Exhale, step the foot through, warrior two. We're going to bring the hands to the back of the head, And then just start your little tick-tocks here. Moving nice and slow. Staying nice and low in the hips, in the knee. And then pushing the mat away with the left foot, straightening that leg any amount. Arms come long to a T position, deep breath in. Exhale, pushing the hips back, and then tick-tocking down over the left leg this time, finding triangle. Keeping a gentle bend in that left knee, no locking out the joints. And then on your next inhale, finding peaceful triangle, so legs stay straight, left arm goes high. This is your longest pose yet. And then on the exhale, moving in towards the balance, if that's good for you today. Finding just a breath to float. And then exhaling, bending the left knee, touching the left fingertips down towards the ground. And then reaching behind for that right foot. Finding this in any way that works for you. Do what you need, do as you please. One more deep breath wherever you are. And then exhale, planting that foot, finding peaceful. And then a flow. On your next inhale, right toes high. Exhale, this time stepping the right foot to the outside of the right hand. We're in the lizard. We'll stay here for a breath. So shoulders pressing into knee. Exhale, drop the hips just a little bit. And then when you're ready, dropping the left knee, untucking the left toes. And we'll stay here for a few breaths. So there's many variations in lizard. I always like to roll off to the pinky side edge of my foot and then open up towards that leg a little bit and push the knee away. But whatever helps you open up into that right hip. Sending every inhale to that area, and then every exhale, just sinking your weight a little bit further into the ground. You can start to unwind, coming back to both long arms, tucking under the left toes. Inhale, kicking that leg high, and then as you exhale, flopping the right foot over towards the left side of the body, but staying upright, so just flipped dog. And then planting the right toes down. Inhaling, left toes high. Exhale, left foot outside of left hand. We'll pause here in lizard. Find a little tension between the left arm and the lower part of the left leg. Exhale, drop the hips an inch. And then dropping the right knee, untucking the right toes. And then finding whatever variation of lizard serves you. You can also walk your hands away from your body or come down to your forearms. That's a little too much for me at this time of the day. So treating your body with kindness and just being gentle, graceful. One more round of breath here. And then planting the left hand down, moving back towards your plank or your down dog, kicking the left leg high, and then crossing the left toes over towards the right side of the body, opening up that front hip here. Exhale, planting the left foot, shifting the gaze forward and tiptoeing into forward fold. We'll reach for opposite elbows here, just like we did in the beginning of class. Deep bend in the knees, ragdoll. And then just notice what you notice. How does this feel different? How can you make it feel better? Inhale, we'll lift halfway. And then as you exhale, tenting the fingertips, coming down into a little crouching position, and then rolling onto the balls of the feet. We did this the other night in class. If you were there, this is toe stand. We'll just be here for a moment. So as you inhale, see if you can have your fingers leave the ground in any capacity. They can go straight out. They can hover above the earth. Maybe they go straight up. And then planting the fingers, rolling down towards the heels, planting the glutes on the ground, and then seeing if we can hover for just a moment here in boat. We have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Letting everything go, lowering down all the way to the mat. Once you arrive, you can give the knees a hug. Maybe massage out the lower back just by rocking back and forth. And then planting the soles of the feet as close to the glutes as you can get them. We'll move through a few rounds of bridge. So inhale, press everything down into the ground to let the hips float up. Your spine is long and straight. We'll take 2 rounds of breath here at the top. Next, exhale, rolling the spine all the way down to the ground. We'll take 1 more round, so reset however you need to. And then start pressing everything away, soles of the feet, shoulder blades, palms, letting the hips rise, and then maybe, if you want, tucking the shoulder blades under, finding that same clasp, but this time keeping your hands on the mat to push you just a little bit higher, maybe even coming to the balls of the feet. Wherever you are, we'll stay for 2 breaths. Last deep breath in. Exhale, slowly unwinding, lowering all the way down. And then moving towards just a seated position, however you want to get there is fine with me. Sending the legs long in front of you, gentle bend in the knees. I always like to move the flesh out from under me so that I can really feel my sits bones connected to the earth. Deep breath in, spine is long, arms rise overhead, and then as you exhale, slowly starting to lean over the legs until you can't anymore, and then rolling the spine, reaching for the calves or the bottoms of your feet. Deep breath in once you arrive, and then exhale, softening everything in this shape. Where can you find release? Take 1 more really good round of breath. And then on your next inhale, you can come back towards upright. Make your way back towards laying. Hugging the knees in. And then we'll move into supine. So however you want to take supine is fine with me. But we'll inhale in the center and then exhale, dropping the knees off towards the right. Maybe today you choose a different variation. You can always kick your legs straight. We'll stay for 3 more breaths. more, tucking the knees back towards center on your next inhale, and then exhale, dropping the knees off towards the left. On your next inhale, coming back towards center, giving the knees a good hug, lifting up the neck, the chest, the head, maybe nuzzling the nose between the knees, hugging everything so tight for your last breath in. And then exhale, slowly releasing everything, finding the most comfortable position you can think of, and giving yourself the gift of just laying and breathing. As you continue to breathe, I'm going to read to you from the Book of Awakening. This is called We Are Born Singing. Song is not a luxury, but a necessary way of being in the world. Somehow we have been fooled into thinking that song is entertainment, something we can do without, like dessert. But to give voice to what lives inside is what keeps all things possible. In truth, the minute we arrive, we are born singing, though this is often mistaken for crying. Yet without this deep reflex, the lungs won't work, and the lifelong exchange between inner and outer can't begin. I remember my first day home alone after my rib surgery. For the first time in months, everything was still. The morning light now filling the space where my rib used to be. Suddenly, finally, I began to weep, loudly, as pockets of fear and pain and exhaustion escaped. This release was a song, and what I hadn't realized was that once released, once the buildup of my journey was given a way out, life, with its thousands energies and softness, could come in. Such a simple secret. By letting things out, we also let things in. So if you're cut off, in pain, estranged, numb, sing. Give voice to anything. It needn't sound pretty. Simply, bravely, open despite the difficulty, and let what is in out, and what is out in. Sing, and your life will continue. His point of reflection that follows is, as you breathe, realize that the sound of your breath is the quietest of songs. As you're ready, start to bring some life back to your limbs. Maybe take a full body stretch. And then roll off towards your left side.